What a piece of junk.
This is the Shattered Order Podcast.
Go switch off.
If you're looking for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, information, and theory crafting, you've found the podcast you're looking for. With your hosts, Goodnight Punk and Wind Killer Inc.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 148th episode of the Shattered Order Podcast. I'm your host, Goodnight Punk, and with me, as always, in all his blurry glory, is my good friend Wink. What's up, Wink? No, just chilling, I don't know, you might have noticed, some people might not or even care, but I have not shaved my beard in probably a month and a half, and I'm just gonna keep letting it go and see what happens. So over the course of the weeks on this podcast, you're probably gonna I'm kind of curious if it's gonna turn into one of those nasty, sorry, that's a bad way to say it because I'm sure people have them, but I don't like the ones that are just go into a point and they're straight down. I want it to puff out, more of like a Santa Claus beard. So I'm kind of curious. I'm trying to curious if mine poofs or not. I just don't. I know that if mine does the straight thing, it'll look greasy. What? All right. Let me fix this real quick. And you're fixed. All right, so, yeah, anyways, you're good now. Yours does the puff thing, right? That's what you're saying? Gonna be a lot of pictures. Gotcha. Well, I've been ordered as well. I am going against orders and not shaving and see how long it lasts. So far, we're good, but, whatever. So right off the jump here at the beginning of the show, I wanted to mention once again our sponsors. We can't hear Wink. It's showing you as playing on the live stream. So, you can hear me, but not him somehow. I wish I could help myself. I don't know. Let me try. Let's see. If I messed around with this, we'll try to fix it here. All right, say something. Let me know if people can hear you.
Testing. Hear all about it. Testing.
That's the beard causing interference. Yes, the beard is taking over. All right, well.
Hey!
It's from me trying to play with the track stuff for the audio recording, so I fixed it.
Yeah, you're doing something a little bit different this week with your audio, so hopefully we don't have the same issue we had last week. Of course, if you listen to last week's podcast, the audio-only version, you will know that the first half was a little bit rough because we had to use my Skype recording of you because your audio basically disappeared, and it was a whole thing. And as you may or may not know, my internet is terrible. So when we have to use audio that I record through Skype, not going to be, up to snuff. So.
Yep. But I actually charged my headphones this week, so they will be fine for the whole podcast and should not cause me any issues. So I actually thought ahead for once.
Very nice.
We'll see what happens. So anyways, what I was saying was I wanted to do a big shout out to our sponsors at Blue. Those guys really help us out with all our audio quality. If we could figure out our part of it and make it work. But not our tech
issues.
Yeah. If we could get our tech issues under control, we would sound absolutely fantastic, because Blue surprises us all the time with the amazing quality of our microphones. We got these nice sparks, and the headphones that we have, awesome wireless powered headphones with noise canceling, all that stuff, all the good stuff. Blue just has amazing products. So if you're interested in any of their type of stuff for streaming, video games, YouTubes, whatever you want to use it for, head over to their website and use SOPOD on your checkout, and you'll get 1/5, 20% of your price off, which is a really good deal. So,
woo!
Yeah, exactly. SOPOD at bluemicrophones.com, and you should get a really good deal on some really good stuff. So, wanted to throw that out there right before we started, but I think it's time for a little something.
Hey guys, what did you do in Swoga this week?
Holy hell, what a week! Hey Dan, I don't know if you can tell or not, but look in the live. Do you see my forehead? Do you see a mark on there? Because I swear to God, all week, all I was doing was just smashing my head into a brick wall. That's what it felt like every time I got on to Swoga. We'll get to that in a second. So, I want to give a big shout out to Debo's Guild, who unfortunately took us down in this territory war.
Barely.
We fell a little bit short. Yeah. We left a few ship teams. They ended up clearing, so, we just kind of quit at that point because there was no possible way to win. I think there were like 4 ship fleets left, but weren't as efficient on offense as we should have been. Our territory war general didn't do a great job either. I'm assuming it's been a really busy week for him, and he probably didn't strategize as much as he should have, but that's beside the point. So shout out to Heroes of ESAD and Evo's Guild who won. Congratulations, you guys.
Yes, congratulations. That was a really fun one. Kind of surprised. Man, it was down to the wire, of course. Those stinking special bonus territory wars are always... We've had a couple tough ones like that, tough losses.
Yep. That is definitely true.
But what can you do? Soldier on. Soldier on. That's what they say.
Indeed. All right, so the other thing is I have recently got my Pimp Trooper to 7 stars. Do you know what that means?
That means you can use him in all phases of Darkside territory battles.
Hell yes, it does. Which also means, for the first time ever, I was able to completely destroy that special mission in Phase 6. So that was pretty awesome. That was just fantastic. I've been wanting to beat that for a while. And Range Trooper, I mean, it's effortless. I walked through it. I mean, I wasn't even close to losing at any point whatsoever. It's unbelievable. I mean, he's just a total juggernaut. He's such an awesome character. Love that guy. Cool stuff. So,
yeah, I agree. Guy's cool.
So do we want? Should we save the ranting for when we talk about the event later, or should we rant now?
I should save it because I think that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of that whole section.
So, I got Padme to Gear 9. I got all 7 stars. I took Ahsoka to Gear 12, put 3 of the regular Gear 12 pieces on her, put a Zeta on General Kenobi, put a Zeta on Padme's leader ability, because I think GK, Zeta, and Padme's lead are 2 very important Zetas for building a Galactic Republic team if you're going to do that. I finished up my Cantina farms, which these double drops were amazing for me. I did a lot of work on finishing up some characters and getting shards of characters I really needed. I blew through some crystals this weekend. It was pretty nice, but let's see. I'm now farming Cruise Node constantly and racking up shard drop currency. Such a relief to be done with that. I'm very happy.
It's such a brainless activity now. I've been doing that crew node for 3 months now.
I'm starting to realize how nice it is.
It's like, okay, I got some energy, spend it there, and it was really funny and kind of sucked because it's just such a waste when the double drops were on Cantina, because all I was really getting was double shard shop currency. It would have been nice to have someone to farm during that. That would have been the perfect time.
Yeah, but still, double shard shop currency is hard to beat.
Oh no,
let's be honest.
I'm not complaining about it. It's just I love seeing the big numbers on characters when you sim them during double drops. Just not as much when it's someone I already have maxed.
No. 100%, I agree with you. So the other thing was we had all these packs for the whole May the 4th thing. Which one of those gear packs did you buy? Did you buy any of them? All of them? What? Because we had, we had Carboni, we had the stun gun, we had the droid collar, we had the golden eyeballs, and stun cuffs. Did you buy any of those?
Nope. I didn't buy any of them because I just, my crystals were drained from gearing up Malik, so I didn't feel like buying more crystals just for those packs, and so I just let them go.
Totally understandable.
Yep. But the packs were good.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were a pretty good deal, especially since even if you got the lower one, you were still getting a good deal. I think we talked about that
I bought
last
all
week.
of them besides the droid collar one. I had no use for the droid collar one, but I bought the gold eyeball one, which was 365 or 360 crystals. Normally 375, so they were all basically a 10-20 crystal discount, even if you got the worst drop. But I got 25 of those, so I made out okay on those. However, on the stun cuffs, stun guns, and Carbonis, I got 50 pieces on all 3 of those, and they were however many crystals it was, 690 or whatever. So I mean, I ended up cleaning house on those. It went really well.
Well, that's good. You must go to Vegas often, or you should.
Haven't been in a while. I used to go a lot.
From the sound of it,
I love gambling. It's so much fun. That's beside the point. So one last thing. Speaking of gambling, by the way, here's how I like to do Grand Arena. You ready for a story?
I am ready, because that intro was top notch.
In this current Grand Arena, the 3v3. So you have the top tier, the bottom tier, the bracket that I'm in. So the top row and the first one on the bottom, all those territories have 3 teams, and then the bottom left or bottom right, whichever territory, has the 2 teams. So if you have to pick 2 territories to clear, you're better off clearing the top territories, because you will end up with more overall points because there's more teams, and therefore you get a bigger bonus on the territory for clearing it. And that's assuming you have enough teams to clear it. But I like to gamble. So what I decided to do, which was genius, was I put my Darth Revan team on the bottom front. That way, if the enemy put his Darth Revan on the top front, I would be forced to beat it if I wanted to win. That's how much I like gambling.
That
And
sounds very similar.
this wasn't an actual strategy.
That is actually, well...
What
okay.
happened? So, I set my team up and everything. I really didn't think about it. And the guy went through. He beat all my teams. He took two tries on one of my Night Sister teams. He couldn't beat my Darth Revan team. So then I started clearing his territories. I cleared the bottom one first, opened up the back one, beat one of those teams, and then went back, started looking at his Darth Revan and stuff, and kind of started looking around and started to do the math because there were 2 teams left. And basically, even with the territory war bonus, I had to average 84 points per team in order to win. And I just started scratching my head. I'm like, something's not adding up here. And then it dawned on me what the issue was. It was because he was able to clear one more team due to where I placed my Darth Revan. So it put me in a position where I had no choice but to beat his Darth Revan. And he had Malak. I don't have Malak. So he actually put down Darth Revan with Basilisk Unfallen and Malak. And I had to get through that to have any sort of chance at winning. So I sent in Jedi Knight Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, and Jedi Knight Anakin. And I almost took out Basilisk Unfallen. So close. She was in the yellow health. She was about to die. I wasn't able to kill anyone with that team. Once Darth Revan went, it just went south big time and did not end well. So I kind of started planning how I would be able to clear out the rest of the teams and put myself in a good spot, but still take out his Revan team. And of course, I started thinking, I was like, well, Han, even though the team's loaded with turn meter, Han will go first, assuming one of them's not at full TM, which is not a great chance of that happening.
Right.
So I went in with CLS, Han, and Chewie. I was able to use Han to take out Basilisk Unfallen, so I didn't have to worry about those debuffs. Then I just had to work my way through the other 2. And fortunately, I was able to get enough counters and do enough damage to clear him out in my second turn. I was so freaking relieved, and I suspect that he is going to be rather annoyed once he actually goes back and sees what happened, because I'm sure people with Darth Malak are not expecting to lose, especially when there is a Darth Revan team that they're having to face, on defense. So, yeah, those teams are pretty tough. But
you know what's funny is I don't put
that was a relief.
BSF in the 3v3 team. What
you said?
I don't put BSF in the 3v3 team with Malak, at least.
Well, because you have, okay. You put HK in?
I put HK, Darth Revan, and Malak because I've found a team. I found a team that a lot of people just completely don't even really, what's the word? They underestimate, is Emperor Palpatine lead with Vader and BSF. Every time I've set that on defense, it's taken at least 2 attacks to beat. So I've been throwing BSF in with Vader and Palpatine, and it's been working pretty well. In fact, that'll lead to a little bit of something
there. Yeah.
That'll lead to a little bit of something with my week so far. But yeah, interesting. I know a lot of people do put BSF with those 2, and I'm sure that's a good team, but I haven't found that Darth Revan with HK and Malak has had any problems staying on defense either. So I like to make 2 teams that do the same.
Yeah, that's interesting because I usually put Palp, Vader, and Tarkin in 3v3 on defense because Tarkin has the turn meter reduction, and then you can kind of get them into a stun lock position. But here lately, I've been saving Palpatine for offense just because, I mean, the stuns are pretty nasty. It works great against a lot of teams.
Yeah. What else you got? Oh, that was it, huh?
That was pretty. Yeah. Other than suggesting to people, if you put Darth Revan on defense, put him in the top territory, so that you're in a better spot if they clear everything besides your Darth Revan. So.
You know what's funny is I actually lost a Grand Arena last week because the opposite of what you're saying. Now it might have been.
Oh really?
I'm at 3.978 million right now, so I'm not quite at 4, and so maybe the numbers there are different, but I was able to clear out his ships and I was able to clear out his front top zone and his ships and everything around his Darth Revan, like one shot, but I couldn't kill the Darth Revan. He couldn't get through my Darth Revan on the top, but since there were 4 teams behind this bottom zone where my Darth Revan wasn't, he just got so many more extra points for defeating those 4 teams on the bottom, even though he couldn't get through my Darth Revan, that he actually beat me in that case. So I don't know, man. I don't know which one's right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, my week's been... I actually have things written down, so I guess my week's been a little busier than lately. So that's nice. I wasn't just gearing Malik all the time this week. So, beginning of the week, first thing I did, I took Newt Gunray to gear 11. I stopped at gear 11. Didn't give him any extra pieces, but very easy gear. I think he's like 27th on that gearing list that we've talked about. So that's the reason I actually started doing him, was because he was really low on that list, and because I knew he was getting a rework, and also because of the rumors that he will be like Vader and Palpatine, or like the Hoth Bros for the new territory battle. So where you're gonna want to have Newt Gunray geared to use in the territory battle, along with the rework. So took him to gear 11. Interesting side note is Carrie, or CG Carrie, on her Twitter this week was looking for... Okay, did you know that there was a Church of Newt Discord server?
I did not.
That's a thing that apparently exists, and she was looking for the leader of that server. Didn't say anything about why, but all I can think is that rework that's coming, she wanted to mention something to them. And so I don't know, maybe that was this week, like a couple days ago, so maybe we'll see those reworks sooner than we thought. But I am now ready for the Newt Gunray meta. That's not going to be a thing, but I'm ready for Newt Gunray. So pretty stoked about that. And then after I moved off Gunray, I started gearing Range Trooper, getting ready, because I'm almost to 7 stars now, 17 out of 100. I'm a furnace away from gear 9, so hopefully soon I'll be beating that special mission the same way you were talking about earlier this week.
Hell yeah.
I'm down with that, because I don't even bother attempting it, because the few times that I have, I've just gotten absolutely destroyed. Yeah. So
it's tough if you don't have the right characters.
Oh yeah, exactly. What else? Won round 1 of Grand Arena by 20 points. It's pretty funny. We both had Darth Revan, and we both couldn't get through Darth Revan, but we both had him in the same exact spots, and so he cleared out everything but my Darth Revan. Everything that he could but my Darth Revan. And I cleared out everything I could but his Darth Revan, and I did everything of his in one shot. He took 2 attempts on my Palpatine Vader BSF team, and I ended up winning round 1 by 20 points. So that's another reason that I really like that Palpatine team. Comes down to it, gave me the win in that first round this week. So
heck yeah, very nice.
I will take it for sure. And here's another weird one that hasn't happened for a long time. I think I've done at least 5 out of 7 Grand or Galactic Wars this week with my bounty hunters. Trying to get those ridiculous amount of Boba Fett payouts.
I hate those.
I might not be even at 100 out of 500 yet after this week and the few weeks before this where I was doing it. Because it's just like some of those early nodes in Galactic War, you just kill everyone before you get to the 10 you need. It's super annoying. Dude, I've been rolling through Galactic War every day. I feel like I'm on a new account again. It's crazy.
Funny that you mentioned that because that was something I forgot about the Sith Agent Prestigious quest.
Mm-hmm.
I've made no effort towards doing, but after this week, as far as one of the things is defeat 1,000 Galactic Republic enemies with Count Dooku present. I'm magically up to 217 of those.
Wow. Did that all happen?
Wonder how that happened.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, I guess kind of a good thing from the event. Okay, well, let's not get into that. Yeah, basically, and we were just talking about quests, so I wanted to mention this. I'm super annoyed on my alt account. I finally started going through some of the quests to just try to clear them out. I did the Ewok quest, finished that one off. Got my Wicket portrait, and then I started doing some of the original intro quests that I hadn't even touched. Well, now I'm on the one where it's earn 600 raid tickets, which was one day done. But the other part to it is to participate in 4 heroic pit raids. Do you know how you can not get that done? Simming the heroic pit.
Oh, no kidding. Interesting.
Yeah, so the quest is, unless I get the entire guild to actually fight the pit and not do simmed rewards, I'll never finish that quest. And I mean,
that's
I'm
annoying.
okay with it because the rewards aren't that great. But I'm not okay with it in the fact that I get really annoyed seeing a bunch of quests that I don't want there, and that one is one of them. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's just sitting there staring at me in the face, and I'm like, 4 pit raids, really? I've probably done 12 since I got the quest. Not a single one counts because they're all simmed. We should probably
You need to get that guild to do what Shattered Order does and alternate, prestige quests.
Yeah.
Raids.
Quest raids. Let's do it.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to this.
Strong with us, this update is Young Padawans.
Oh, may the 4th be with you.
Yeah. It was a thing, and it happened.
It was.
You know what's funny is my daughter heard that May 5th was a holiday, and she said it was because it was Revenge of the 5th, and I just shook my head. And I'm like, no, that's not the holiday that May 5th is. But
hey, if she wants to believe that, that's totally fine. However, personally, I'm a margarita fan, so.
Man, I worked on May 5th. Yeah. It was very depressing. All of the drunken Discord messages.
But... yeah, I don't even think I drank it all on the 5th either. But
no, well, drinking now, so we're good.
Very nice. What are you drinking?
It's called Mural, and it's cerveza.
That's right.
Watermelon, lime, hibiscus, agave. It's from New Belgium, so pretty freaking good. Ooh. I like it.
Very nice. I am drinking, it is called H2O. It is very delicious.
Who makes that? Earth Brewing?
I assume God. I don't know.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, so...
Rain Cloud Brewing?
Yeah. All right, so it's 4th of July, my lord. May 4th stuff going on. There was a mosaic picture from Celebration that Capital Games put together. That was pretty cool. It was like the Galaxy of Heroes logo thing with a mosaic of all the pictures from Celebration.
I put this
you
note
had
in
an interesting
here.
question.
Yeah, I put this note in here because I just thought about this when I was going through the forum updates for this week to put into the show notes. But I haven't heard anyone talk about this or look into it, and I bet someone out there has done this. But if you click on the link that they put in there, you can zoom in to that picture, that mosaic, and click on every single picture and make it big and see what the pictures are. And there's, I don't know, there's got to be 200, 300 pictures in there, tons of them. And I'm just curious if anyone had gone and looked through those pictures, because it'll take a little while, and see if there was one picture in there that they had stuck in there as like a Easter egg, I guess. Maybe something that would give some kind of hint to what's coming. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's looked at this thing. I might, if I find time, go sit in there and kind of... I can look through 2 rows at a time, so maybe I can sit there and scan through all the rows and just look. But, yeah, I'm interested to see if there was something in there. I haven't seen any videos or any talk about it, so I don't know. Maybe they did and there was nothing, or maybe no one has, but I thought that was interesting. Finity looked at it. He looked at every photo. Well, maybe there's nothing.
Nice.
Interesting thought, though.
Was there anything really good in there, Grande? Let us know.
Let us know.
Across something super interesting. What was this other thing? Oh, yeah, this the little Gear 12 deal, the gold rings and such. They also sent out file for that, so you can basically stamp it over your picture and
Wasn't that on swuggle.life for the longest time, I think? So
yes, it was. Yep.
Nice to see it's actually there. I can download the PSD file, but people have had that as their avatar for so long. Some people that I know that I would like, I'm not going to do it. I'll feel like I'm behind on this trend. But it is really cool. Hopefully we see some other stuff like that. That would be pretty sweet. I'd love to have like a cutout of like one of the characters where I can just put my face in it. I mean, I know how to do it in Photoshop anyway, but I think it'd be hilarious. Every new character, like the Padme, just put my bearded face on Padme. That'd look great.
Yep. All right, so what was the deal with the territory war time change or date change?
Okay, yeah. So there was a post put out that said, originally this territory war was supposed to start on the 5th, and instead it ended up. They said that there was some kind of internal update they did to the game and pushed the territory war back a day, but didn't update the calendar post. So territory war started a day late. The interesting and annoying thing to me about that, and the only reason I put it in there was this Padme event timing. Taking everything else out of the Padme event, the timing of it was absolutely terrible. Like, I know they moved it to like the noon start so that people wouldn't have to wait up all night, but the event started when your last phase of territory battle was ending. So trying to coordinate between people that want to play the event and trying to get all your GP deployed and everything else that's not been done right there at the end of territory battles, super obnoxious. The second part was when it ended, it was right at the end of a territory war. So people are scrambling to try to finish this event if they can while we're trying to finish a territory war. So the timing of the Padme event as far as territory war and territory battles was super obnoxious. I don't know what was going on there or if they even looked or thought about that, but if the territory war had been on its normal day, this wouldn't even have happened.
Well, Grande brings up an interesting point about them trying to stagger the offense times between Territory War and Grand Arena so you don't have, like, basically the same days overlapping. I don't pay much attention to these sort of things, to be perfectly honest. But, I mean, that is obviously a great strategy because
Here's why that
more days that you can have stuff to do seems good. Here's
why that doesn't matter to me. Territory War, you have to do pretty much stay on top of it all day long to know when things are opening up and when you can fight certain teams, whatever. Grand Arena you can do it any time. So if I want to wait till the next day that's not territory war time and fight after the territory war even ended, I could do that. So
Yeah.
I understand the idea, but to me it just doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But maybe it matters to them. I don't know. Obviously it does because they changed it. So that makes sense.
So the other big thing that happened this week, this has kind of been a discussion for a while, but Grand Arena mods have not been locking correctly. This kind of seems like a problem, doesn't it?
It seems like a very big problem. Especially yeah.
So apparently this is a bannable offense.
I was like, what are you talking about? What? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So basically there's an issue with setting up your mods, before the Grand Arena on defense, and then when you go in on offense, the way you select squads, you can basically, if you select pre-built squads, it will not use your mods that were saved in the Grand Arena, essentially, which allowed you to kind of move mods around. But this is something they are tracking, counted as an exploit, and they will be banning people, so do not be doing it.
Well, the other part to it is, as well, gear, Zetas, any gear or abilities, pretty much anything that you can do to a character to make them better can be done during the Territory Wars and Grand Arenas right now, which is a massive... Here's the thing. I'd say for 95% of the population, they're not going to want to worry about doing this. But there will always be that 5% that does. And for that 5% to beat you that way would really, really suck. Especially when you're looking at what people have and what they have left and how they're geared in the defense. When you're setting your defense and you see the way it is, and then you see yourself get cleared and have no idea how that could possibly even happen, which has happened to a lot of people that I've known. Whether or not it was this or not, I don't know, but it's just not a fun experience for that if those 5% of people are using this exploit. So it's a big problem for sure, and it's not going away for a while, because they also said that it will be... This is the part that confuses me. Most likely to roll out with Grand Arena Championships or the new territory battle. Two things from that statement that they made. Grand Arena Championships sounds like it is, from that statement, is coming before territory battles. And if Grand Arena Championships comes before territory battles and they don't put this fix in till territory battles, the new territory battle, that would mean the Grand Arena Championships with the new ranking structure and everything else would have however long, a month, 2 weeks, whatever it is between the updates, where people are able to use this. Obviously they can track that and they're going to ban people, but you're putting out a node where it's based on skill in a thing where there's an exploit. And that would make no sense to me if this Grand Arena Championships got released while this wasn't still fixed. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one there, but it does not make sense to release Grand Arena Championships without this fixed.
Totally agree.
So,
and it's not like an easy fix. It requires a title update and such to fix it. So, next big title update, of course, will be the new territory battle and Grand Arena. So hopefully we do see that then. But of course, the most important thing about this is, we can all legitimately say we've never lost a legitimate Grand Arena.
yeah, exactly. I'm blaming all my losses on this forever. From this point forward, any
Yep.
loss is legitimate. All the past losses. Nice try, guys.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yep. All right. What is next?
Up next is the update on the 8th of March. Nothing really big here, but it was pretty cool. They put out an update in honor of the Star Wars beloved actor Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca. Basically, put out a new portrait of Chewie. Pretty cool image there, and a new title, Loyal Friend. And the Loyal Friend title actually calls it out what it's for. It says Peter Mayhew will be forever in our hearts, tribute to the lost friend. So it's pretty cool. They did a little tribute to Peter Mayhew in the game in an update this week. And for everyone that I saw on Reddit, so a lot of people were complaining, and I don't know how serious the complaints were, just kind of asking the question, whatever. But they said they were talking about how come this didn't happen for Carrie Fisher, this didn't happen for Kenny Baker, and the only thing I can say to those is that back then they didn't have titles or portraits, so I don't know how they could have really done a very, besides maybe like a message in the game about them with nothing attached to it. I don't know how they could have done the same type of deal for those two that they did for Peter Mayhew, but I know that if portraits and titles were in the game at those points, then I'm pretty sure every one of them would probably get the same treatment. So pretty cool. Really using both of them right now, and see how long I go back before I go back to Wicket. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, and then there was another big one, at least to me.
Thank God.
If you play with your sound on, they fixed the audio bug.
Good
So
grief.
if you're, oh man, it's so obnoxious. This thing was flipping your sound back on every time you closed the app and opened it again.
Not good, man.
If you don't
Lots of
leave
people
your-
got busted this week in meetings. Not good.
Yeah, exactly. It's, man. I mean, it was doing that on the live stream I did this week of the Padme event. It just kept turning itself back on. So obnoxious. So, last thing, update 5.9. They had one the next day. It was a server update, but they handed out the shards for people. I'm not going to talk about the event yet because we're not there, but they handed out shards for people that completed the Padme event but weren't awarded their shards. Without going too much into the event, could you imagine finally beating any tier of that event and not getting your shards and then not knowing when you were going to get them?
That would be annoying.
Annoying.
So,
That's like one word for it. Like,
especially based on my experience with the event, I would be so pissed.
yes, exactly. I just saw that and I'm like, hey, this happens every event, so I'm not surprised, but this one specifically, screw that. Yeah, so
No.
last thing is they completed a rollback of Sith Assassin's gear refunds. You had
Finally.
a question on this one.
So, I saw a few people who had gear level 1 Sith Assassins with 6-stop mods. Should they be forced to take them off, or should they leave them? Should it be
think-
okay to leave them?
I think we talked about this last week. I feel it's kind of like my 2-star Lando, whereas like there's no real.
Oh,
I mean, I
yes,
guess
that's right.
I guess there is a benefit to leaving them on there, but now you can never take them off and put them on another character if you want them on
Yep.
her. So it's kind of like a novelty thing. To me, it's a novelty thing. So I don't think they should be forced to take them off. But
I agree.
if they have to leave them on, obviously they know that if they take them off, they're never going back on. So it will be more of a novelty thing like a 2-star Lando than anything else. And I think it's perfectly fine to leave him on there. I mean, it doesn't really hurt anything, I don't think. So I'm down. I didn't have it. You know what's funny? We should ask Elon if he had 6-star mods on her and if they're still on his. Because he had her gear 12.
One interesting thing about that is people wouldn't have to gear her up as high to, make her fast and usable if they've already got good mods on her, because that's generally how people mod her, is speed. So you could actually, if you have good mods on her already, you kind of really don't need to put that much gear on her anyway.
Hey,
so
just an added bonus then for the fact that you kind of got...
lowers your GP and gives you an advantage as far as mods go.
Beautiful.
Fun
Everybody
stuff.
wins, except for your opponent.
Yep. All right. So, what is the future reporting on the weekly shipments?
So, weekly shipments. All those future people out there already in Tomorrowland have reported back on what's in the weekly shipments, and it looks like for 1,000,000 credits, you can get 5 fives shards. No, I didn't say that wrong. Fives as in the clone. You can get 5 clone shards for 1,000,000 credits. And the only reason I mention that is because a lot of the times when you see those characters end up in those weekly shipment spots, it's relevant to something. So I'm kind of curious if we might be hinting towards a clone rework soon. Because I would love it. I know you wouldn't, but I would be completely in love with it.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Let's see. So I had
Okay, so hold up a second.
Interesting thought.
Elton Blue says it's been 5s for the last few weeks. I can tell you now because mine's not reset, but I don't think that's right. Because I thought it was B2 Battle
Mine's
Droid.
not reset either.
I'm looking. I'm going in now.
We'll give a shout out to Chorzo while you look that up, because
You mean Darth microtransactions? Shout out to Darth microtransactions. What's up, buddy?
Oh, there. Yes, indeed. I lost you for a second.
Ah, gotcha. I guess it was 5s. Weird. So maybe it means nothing.
Interesting.
All right. I thought it was B2 for some reason. Maybe that was the week before. I don't know. Half the time we don't pay attention to the weekly shipments, so there I go for trying to be proactive. But also, another topic you wanted to mention, 20 stun gun salvage for 100k ally coins is also in there this week. So you have something to say about it.
I do. I'm not... So, wherever this popped up this past week, people were so excited because it's such a great deal. But I was thinking today, is it? I'm not convinced. I can't remember the last time I spent 100,000 ally coins, but let's do the math on this real quick.
Love
you
some
get
maths
20
here.
stun gun salvage.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the Shard Shop store, you can get 6 salvage for 186 Shard Shop currency. So if we equate that into, what it costs to buy 20 stun gun salvage, you are basically looking at 620 currency. If you figure 15 currency per shard, you need 41 1/3 character shards to get 20 stun gun salvage. I feel like you would easily get 41 character shards with 100,000 ally points. That's 400. That is 400 attempts, or 400 bronziums that you open.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay, now that I'm really thinking about your math there, opening those bronziums, you get a crap ton of character shards, And for in-game people that have all the characters and it's all going to Shard Shop, I mean, spending 50K, I feel like you'd be way over 40 character shards. 100K, there's no chance you're not at 40 character shards. You'll be... So, yeah, that price is way too steep.
The only thing is, you do have the quick purchase, so, I mean, you get a bulk of them pretty quick, but that's a lot of ally coins for that. I mean, I don't know. It depends on if you need them, I guess, and how many ally coins you have. But if you're getting low on ally coins, save them or spend them on bronziums.
Yeah, I really need to just go on a bronzium spending spree. You know, I should really not spend ally coins on this weekly shipment stuff at all until I at the very least unlock Aurora Roar. Because up until Padmé, Aurora Roar was the only character I did not have unlocked. So that dude's like 50 out of 65 for the life of this game. I just never gotten his shards. He's like the only character that I don't have unlocked. So I should probably just buy bronziums until I get that dude. That would make more sense. So, yeah, weird.
Indeed. All right. You ready to rant?
Oh boy, am I? I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I don't like the reason we are, but I will do it. I have plenty of thoughts about this.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Well, okay. Well, let me just say this. I played it for about 4 hours, and that's it. And not because I didn't have the characters for it, just because I did not want to spend my life on it. So, I did not beat it. I did not even unlock it. So, why don't you talk before I say anything? Because my give a crap meter is very low for Padmé right at this moment. But go ahead.
There is no event, there is no anything in this game that I have hated more than the Padmé event. It's not that it's difficult, which it is. It's not that it's just generally frustrating, which it is. It's the fact it's so freaking random. There is no rhyme or reason to anything that any of the characters do. Is Kenobi gonna cleanse? Who the hell knows? Is Padmé gonna give protection up? Who the hell knows? Is Anakin gonna AoE? Hell if I know. It's
is Fishman gonna revive on this turn?
Oh, don't
while there's no taunt going on. Like, oh my god. Yes. Completely agree. Awful.
Awful. I hated that event so much. I didn't even enjoy it. I did eventually unlock her at 7 stars. I am trying to see if I can figure out exactly how many attempts it took. I think I'm close to 300 attempts on getting her unlocked. I'm going to see if I can actually find out the number, and because that will be an interesting experiment. But it was just unbelievably frustrating. I mean, I had General Grievous, Gear 12.5, both Zetas I put on him. My mods are pretty damn good. He had, without the Gear 12 Plus pieces, 52,000 health. And, I mean, I was having complete and total hell. I mean, I was lucky to get to the point where I had to deal with Fishman, because basically a kill pattern is Padmé, Jedi Knight, Anakin, then Fish Boy, because you don't really have a choice. You can't leave Padmé around because she'll get protection up, and then they're basically a nuclear bomb once they have protection up. Jedi Knight Anakin, you know, you gotta be careful about when you knock someone below half health, because I mean, he will just flat out truck you with that stupid AoE. It was, God, it was one annoying ass event. And then on top of that, there were multiple times I got it down to just like General Grievous or Asajj versus Kenobi or Mace, and just couldn't do it. It just did not go my way. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know how many hours, like, before I would go to bed, I would just sit there and play on my phone and play that event until my phone died, basically. I wasted way too much time on that event this week. It just, I hate everything about it. It was awful.
This is something about the kit reveal that we went over last week that I thought was very, very obvious in the event. But when we talked about our kit, we talked about the fact that both specials had a 3-turn cooldown and how often that she was going to be able to get off those specials with how fast she is. Did you notice how fast she was getting that stupid first special off, where she was turning everything into protections up and healing everyone instantly? It felt like it was every other turn with her because of those low cooldowns.
Yep.
So completely on the ball there on the kit reveal, talking about those low cooldowns, because holy crap, in this event, it felt like she was doing it every damn time. You get her down to the red thinking, okay, we're good here. She's going to die next turn. Somehow she's given turn meter. Suddenly she's doing the, God, I can't remember the name of it now, but she's healing everyone, including herself, all the way back up. Jedi Knight Anakin comes in and one-shots one of your guys, and
everyone.
Everything is gone instantly. Reset, start again. My God, it was just... There's something... Okay, so you didn't play the Malik event, as far as I know, right?
No. Correct.
So, these are my biggest complaints with this event, right? There's a couple of them, so I'll go over both of them real quick. First one involves the Malik event. In the Malik event, complete strategy, I felt like. Yes, it was hard, but it was hard because if you decided yourself, not RNG, if you decided yourself to make a wrong move, instantly you were punished for it and the run was dead. But if you were doing what you needed to do as strategy for the different events said to do, or how people have figured out to do it, then you could beat it. Like, it wasn't that hard once you really knew what you were doing and you implemented that plan while doing it. Malik event was hard and it was annoying, but I felt like it was good. The problem with this one is the strategy is kill this in a certain turn order if you can, if RNG lets you. It's not do it this way, don't make any bad moves, and you'll win. That wasn't even it. It was do it this way and hope RNG doesn't kill you. Because there's really the strategy aspect to it compared to the Malik event was just gone. That's point one. Malik event, annoying, obnoxious, hard, but it had strategy. This one, to me, RNG based, very little strategy involved. You have a strategy that you put into place, but it doesn't matter how good that strategy is if Padmé's healing herself or Anakin's back and killing everyone else.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Like I said, I gave up after 4 hours.
Well,
I enjoyed my week. I didn't stress like I watched everyone on Discord do. I was not interested in it because I knew that the only way I'm going to get her is if I get them all to Gear 12, if I add in certain characters, certain Zetas, and I'm just going to wait to do that till the next time and not worry about it. You know what I mean? So...
Totally fair.
Feel totally good about it too, because now
in my opinion, this event would have been far less frustrating.
Go ahead.
This event would have been far less frustrating if they at least had a consistent pattern in the beginning. You know, if Padmé would do the same thing every time, if Anakin would do the same thing every time, especially if you're not getting to take a turn in between them. The fact that the opening turns, the special abilities that they would use would be completely different battle to battle. Like, I would have periods where I would do what I wanted them to do, and then long periods of them not doing anything that would be mixed and matched, and, just something consistent so that we can find a strategy rather than it just literally being RNG fishing. Just freaking awful.
So
I did, man. I hated it.
Here's
I
point
wasn't
two.
even happy when I got her to 7-star. I was just so damn relieved I didn't have to look at that event again.
So here's point 2 for me, right? I didn't beat tier 5 with all Gear 11 and Gear 12 characters. That's how annoying it was, and that's where I gave up. I didn't even care about the unlock because I wasn't going to spend my time in there, all that time in there. Now, this is what bugs me about this event. And it doesn't bug me about the Malik one as much, because you could do it if you knew the strategy at a certain gear level, but it was still harder than it would be. Let me just get to the point. This event didn't matter how much you geared the characters. Adding gear onto them, adding Zetas onto them, only marginally made it easier. It literally was just straight up RNG, no matter where you were. Now, granted, you gear them up a little bit, you have a little better chance. But, in my opinion, the 5-star unlock should have been much easier than it was. 6-star should have been much harder than the 5, and the 7-star should have been the hardest. But, on the other part to that is, you should always be rewarded for how much gear you've put onto the characters. And the more gear you put onto them should make the event easier. But in this event, the more gear you put on them, the more Zetas you put on them, only made it marginally easier. It was still straight up RNG, still super hard, still super annoying, still hours upon hours in there. It's just, it wasn't a fun event, like, at all. Like, and that's not just me. That's you. That's a lot of the people that I've talked to.
It's
now,
everybody.
You know who does not have that opinion? The people that beat it quickly. And maybe they got the RNG quickly, but I've seen so many people this week try to tell everyone it was easy, and then but all I can think to myself is, I don't know what you did differently than everyone else, or if you just got RNG better than everyone else at the beginning of the week, but your experience is not what everyone else's. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just super.
No,
it was
terrible.
Crazy.
Tier 5 I found pretty difficult. Tier 6 I actually found rather easy. I don't know if that's because I did do some mod changing. I don't know. I mean, that may have affected it a lot, but I was beating my head against the wall on tier 5, and then tier 6 went pretty quickly, and then tier 7 was a slog, man. And one thing that did actually end up helping a lot, I kept, like, Asajj, I kind of left her normal mods on there, just gave her better versions of those. But I ended up remodding her for entirely offense. So she had 222% critical damage and just a total shit ton of offense with 3 offense secondaries. And because she has that stacking offense, just a couple characters dying will make a pretty big difference on her AoE. And that really made a difference for me. Just being able to kind of spam those AoEs really helped take out Fishman and, everyone else. So, I mean, it still effing took forever, but, that is ultimately how it ended up being. And I did notice I was getting Padme and Anakin down a bit more often. Once I did that, it did seem to help, but I mean, of course, there's still just basically no strategy to it. It's just my AoEs were just doing more damage, which is fine. But I mean, you shouldn't have to have mods that good. Most people don't have, I mean, all entirely 6-stop mods with, I mean, basically every mod I had on Asajj had triple-digit secondary offense. They were all 6-dot. I mean, I have some pretty damn good mods for these characters, and it was still excruciating.
Let's talk about mods really quick. Because
Okay.
if this is the way events are going to go, those 6E mods or 6-star mods really need to change. Because not being able to put them on a Gear 11 character that's one piece away that you don't have, or, whatever. The fact that you can't put mods that you've worked hard on anything but a Gear 12 character drives me absolutely insane. Especially in these events where to even have a chance, you need to have all this speed, but everyone puts all their speed mods at 6-star for their arena teams, and now you can't use them in events on these lower geared characters that you don't care about except for this event. It drives me nuts the way that 6E mods are only for Gear 12. For example, my Asajj Ventress on my alt account where I was trying to do this event because I didn't even bother on my main account. Like, I knew there was going to be no chance without spending hundreds of dollars to gear up those characters. On my alt account, Gear 11 Ventress. Okay, I was trying to put I'm like, okay, well, this is how I'll beat it. This will really help me. I'll just move my Revan mods onto Asajj to get the speed and the offense that I have from him onto her, and that will give me the speed I need for, the strategy. Well, I went to do it, and then I realized, well, they're all 6E mods, and they're not going to be able to go on Asajj, so perfect. I don't have half of what I want for this to make this even work. I don't know. The mod thing bugs the crap out of me.
For sure.
If they're going to keep events happening like this that needs to change. Like, you put all your resources into those mods, and then you can't use them for things like this where they're important. It drives me nuts.
Yep, I'm with you. I mean, especially with Grand Arena and stuff giving out so much, slicing material and stuff. Why not just open the mods up? It's you're getting nowhere near the advantage of having characters at Gear 11 versus Gear 12 with those mods. Because of the jumps and stats that you generally get by going to Gear 12 and that you get in Gear 12. I mean, you're obviously much better off with those. So why not just let's put them on Gear 10 or Gear 11? Who the hell cares? I'm with you.
Even if they
be
dropped
a
it down to
great
Gear
change.
10, that would be amazing. If they dropped it down to Gear 11, I'd still be okay with that. But the Gear 12 thing is just a really big annoyance. Because half the time when you're trying to get through these events, yes, they might be geared for Gear 11 to 12, more likely 12. But if you got Gear 11 plus 5 pieces, and you want to try the event with those mods, they should be able to be put on there. I don't know. I'm sure they won't remove it, Grande, but that doesn't make it any less annoying. So I'm going to complain about it regardless because it's still something that's stupid to me. I mean, they're not going to change anything that makes these events easier at this point. Like, that's the other part of this. I want to talk about future legendaries here because at this point, we're seeing legendaries drop at an unprecedented rate, and we're seeing the difficulty of them skyrocket. And I think the reason for that, obviously, is because they want you to buy the gear now instead of the character shards. And to be able to use your 6E mods, you need to have that Gear 12 on them. To get to Gear 12, you might be missing that one super stun gun. So buy the stun salvage to get it to Gear 12. So it makes sense that they wouldn't do it. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't make it any less annoying than it is.
Yeah.
So
it was like last year they loaded us with more keys, and this year they're loading us up with a bunch of gear that we need. Gear walls.
Gear walls.
It's very
in the form of legendaries. It's nah.
Yep.
I don't. Look, you know what? Let me just say this. I don't mind this. mind this way of doing things if the events are like the Malik event. If the events are like the Padme event, don't want them, don't care. But if it comes down to
100%.
less being strategy and more of making the right moves at the right time and knowing when you made a mistake and what that mistake was so that you don't make it again, that's fine to me. But when you don't make a mistake at all, you just can't stop what's happening from happening. That is not a fun event to me. So if they want to keep this going, I'm totally on board with that. As long as they're not like the Padme event and they're more like the Malik event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that and
Yep.
that's
We
you know
will
what,
see.
you put it into chat and I wanted to mention this as well. I've been so excited for the idea of a fallen Anakin event for the longest time. But this Padme event has completely drowned out that excitement because I know if that happens, it's going to be a nightmare, A, to either even complete, but B, also to meet the requirements to get into it. Like, the excitement level, I'm still excited for it. I want to see it. But it's just the anticipation of knowing what you need to even get into it to make it happen is just a major downer.
Well, let's head down this hole for a second. So, if they were to do, say, Order 66 Anakin, what would be the requirements? I mean, I think Padme is a safe assumption. Jedi Knight Anakin's probably a pretty safe assumption. Who else? I mean, usually I feel like an event like that would be a new type of event. It would probably require 5 specific characters and not a general faction, because I wouldn't expect it to be a legendary event. It would be some sort of, heroes fall or villains rise or some sort of event like that. Like, I mean, this has been predicted countless times, so I'm just not sure who the other 3 characters would be. R2's a possibility. I don't know that they would make him required for multiple events like that, but that is certainly a possibility. Who do you think?
Sorry, I got distracted. And that happens a lot.
For the Order 66 Anakin event.
I think there's no doubt. Well, obviously, and I agree with you, it'll probably be a journey event. But most journeys require legendary characters, so I assume that you can probably throw in General Anakin, Padme, Mace would probably be another one. Padme, Anakin, Mace. We're getting to the point where we now have about the 5 we'll need, but I don't know who the others would be. They don't have a
makes a good point.
Clone Wars version of Palpatine yet, so can't throw that in there.
Well, I mean, they gave synergy with Jedi Knight Anakin directly with Ahsoka and General Kenobi, so it's possible that they could be in there too.
Here's the only reason I don't see
kind of close with him.
The only reason I don't see Ahsoka in this equation at all, despite the fact that she is Clone Wars era, is the fact that she was not involved in the actual movie. So I don't see them putting a character that wasn't in the sequence of events from the movie into the event. Obviously, it would make sense because she was his Padawan, but I don't see her being required for him for a sequence that happened straight out of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would make sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen because of the fact that she's his Padawan, but since she wasn't in the movie, I don't see her being a requirement.
Yeah.
Who watched Rebels?
I guess
I didn't, so
yeah. No,
maybe
not yet.
if it happened in Rebels,
eventually.
then maybe it could happen. But I didn't see Rebels, so I couldn't tell you. But I believe you
I'll have to get to
when
it
you say
eventually.
it. So yeah, it's just I never have a place to watch it. So hopefully it will be on Disney Plus when that gets released, and then I'll watch it then.
Yeah. If it comes on there, maybe I'll have time to watch it by then. So the other thing is, I kind of wanted to talk about just these Galactic Republic characters in general for a few minutes, because this is the thing that we've been waiting on. Whenever we saw this General Kenobi and Ahsoka rework, and the Anakin rework, the synergy that those three have together. I mean, the synergy is crazy awesome. They needed the leader, which we now have in Padme. I mean, pretty safe assumption that she is the solid leader you want to go with, because her kid is absolutely awesome. So I think I'm going to switch to a Galactic Republic arena team this week. I'm waiting to get a little bit more gear. Tomorrow, my Padme will be gear 10. That might be the gear level I go ahead and stick her in arena and just kind of see how it goes, because I just kind of want to run something different. I've been investing all this gear and Zetas on them, so might as well. I got to figure out, though. So Padme, Kenobi, Ahsoka, Jedi Knight, Anakin. I definitely want those 4 because I think the synergy's great and I've got the gear on them. I don't know who the 5th is. 3PO, Grandmaster Yoda, and R2 are the 3 that I think of initially. For Arena, strongly lean towards Grandmaster Yoda and R2 due to the fact that with similar mods, you can make both of those characters faster than an enemy Darth Revan, and that will allow you to control the match from the beginning. So R2-D2 would, put the foresight on General Kenobi, forcing him to attack General Kenobi, which would then leave only him with fear, and Padme would be fine because she can't get fear put on her. Grandmaster Yoda gives protection up, so fear would land on no one if he goes early, which is a huge advantage.
Protection up or tenacity up?
Protection up.
Yoda? Okay.
Yes.
I thought...
Yeah, battle meditation gives
protection
30%
up
protection
and then,
up.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and of course, under Padme, the protection up leads to not being able to have any debuffs landed on them. They resist all debuffs and can't be critically hit. So, we will see how it goes. I'm kind of excited to at least test it and kind of see what happens, because Anakin obviously has the super awesome AoE. Malik will probably be somewhat of a problem due to the fact that this, the synergy that she has with the courage ability that allows you to do the 40% max health damage, bonus damage, is not really going to affect Malik. But there's a lot of stuff going on with that. The max health bonus and all the protection up, being able to load these characters up with health, increases that protection up health pool that they have. So the fact that they can kind of keep going back into that pool is really beneficial for, trying to prevent Malik from being able to take you out. So we will see.
When we were playing around on the test accounts back when she was introduced, I think the Malik teams were about the only thing that I really had a big problem with. So figuring out what overcomes that is probably going to be your biggest stumbling block. But other than that, I think, and I was only using R2 as opposed to C-3PO or Yoda. So, that might even be something that becomes a little easier with one of those two. So, we'll see.
Yep. Let's see.
What 3v3 team are you going to make with her?
Okay, so 3v3, that's a good question. I tested one team, but I don't, like I mentioned earlier, I'd already used my Jedi Knight Anakin, and I put General Kenobi lead with Hermit, Yoda, and C-3PO. I put them on defense. So I was left in a position with Padme in which I had Ahsoka, and I think I used R2D2 with her. And I can't remember. I think it was a bounty hunter team I went up against, and she's gear 9. My Ahsoka was gear 11. At the lock for this grand arena. So wasn't great, nor did it really go particularly well. But I think ideally you will use Padme, Ahsoka, and I'm not sure if it really matters if you use General Kenobi or Anakin. It probably depends on what you're going up against, which one of those will be more beneficial.
Gotcha. Well, I'd put my input, but I haven't given it any thought, considering I don't have her. So,
yeah.
Well, I'll let you know if I hit any in Grand Arena and how that goes. I haven't seen any yet in the first round, but who knows what'll happen in the next couple of rounds. I haven't even looked at my defense or the defense I'm up against right now yet. I'm not sure who it is.
One of Padme's most important abilities to Omega is her basic, because it gives the protection up. I mean, protection up on basic is great, especially when you have like Kenobi who can call in assists, right? I don't even have the Omegas to Omega the ability. I have no Omegas. I think I have 2. I did just spend a Zeta on Kenobi, but I can't do anything because I just got no Omegas. It's so freaking frustrating.
I still manage, and maybe this is just a mental block, and I don't know why I do it. Most of the time I think I do it because of Zetas, because I've always had a surplus of Zetas, so I needed those Omegas at the time I went to use them. But I don't ever drop below 70 Omegas because of the need of those for Zetas. I have 70 of them. I should probably start using them because a lot of these characters I've geared up recently need Omega abilities, but there's this mental block I have. I don't ever drop below 70. And so that's why it's always confusing to me still when people say, I don't have any Omegas. And I'm like, and that basically just because I can't make myself spend them, I never am out of them. But,
So I've seriously considered in Cantina farming the 16 energy nodes just for the shot at getting Omegas because I'm so broke. But I don't think I can give up the Star Shop currency, so I don't think I'm going to do that. But
yeah, some of those. The price is just so damn steep in fleet currency, and you're giving up Zetas if you were to buy them there. It's just getting them is a pain.
That too, yep.
I don't know. Do you want to move into this next point here? Because it kind of reminded me of the Omegas, with the Omegas.
The events tab.
Yeah, I wanted to just kind of slightly.
You have some thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm not touch on this because it's a point to me now where we're getting to the point where I feel like even though there are always events in the events tab, they're nothing to shout about or even worry about doing half the time, for at least for in-game players. I really wish that they would revamp some of these events or start coming out with more of them, different ones. I think the only ones I don't have finished are the Galactic Bounties ones, which are awesome because they are hard and there's strategy involved, and you end up getting portraits for them for completing the achievement. I mean, they are the newest event, and you can see how good those are. But then you start looking at assault battles and how mindless they are. Omega battles are simmable, so they're pretty much nothing. At one point, Malik was able to destroy an entire altar table by himself. And now that he can't, even in one full sweep, there are teams that can take out the altar table before everyone revives on the Ghost of Dathomir event. I mean, there's really not any events in that event tab besides Galactic Bounties that I feel are must-dos that are that hard or that fun to do anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really want that event tab to be revamped. I want new events. I want a harder tier of Omega battles where you can earn 5 maybe. And then just keep it the same way where you can only use certain factions to do it. But make it hard. Make there some kind of achievement for doing it, portraits of whatever. Omega battles require factions. Make there be some kind of reward for having that faction or 3 characters from that faction ready to go. You know what I mean? There's just so many things
I
in
totally agree.
that event tab. And then there's the events that will reward you like 10 mods. And you're already at the mod cap and you know that 8 of them are going to be crappy, but you still have to sell mods to even get them out of the message center. Like, so I just don't do them anymore. Like, there are so many things about the event tab that I just really, really need revamped, stuff added. Just make the event tab something that when you click on it, if there's not a legendary in there, you're still excited to be in there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I would not mind that at all.
So, I don't know if you've even thought about the event tab at all.
I'd be fine with that. I don't really feel that strongly one way or the other.
Well, it just seemed like it was always something that where every day, I mean, obviously you can look at the calendar, but who memorizes the calendar? Some people, because they all have that type of memory.
I sure as hell don't.
I don't, but it used to be something that I went in there every day, excited to see which one we had that day. Now that my refresh is 3 a.m. when I changed my payout time, half the time I forget to even do my events before midnight, and they're all gone just because they're just not that exciting anymore. I don't know.
Yep.
I just want some. I want.
No,
the
I'm
events
with you.
redone.
I think assault battles are amazing. They're one of my favorite events when they're difficult. But even now, the mythic tier has become pretty autoable for where I'm at in the game, and probably most more end game players probably are. Power creep's thing, and slowly get better teams, get better mods, and it becomes pretty easy. It would be nice to see something a little bit more challenging, but problem is I just don't think there's much money to be made in those events, so that's probably why we don't see them very often. But it would be nice to at some point get a revamp on those and
I'll tell you this
see what
much.
they can do.
If my idea were to become a thing with the Omega battles where you could get 5 or even 10, make it even more lucrative to do the events. If you were to make a 5 to 10 Omega version of Omega battles where you required that faction to have 3 people at gear 11, gear 12 to beat it, to get those, and it wasn't simmable, you had to do it every time, and it was challenging, people might still put gear into those characters. Because Omegas are such a hot commodity, you know what I mean? So I think there are still ways to make money off of revamped events. I just don't think that, obviously that's not their focus right now, but they're just so boring right now. I don't know.
So we're chatting about the leaderboards on Swagaga in chat, and I decided to adjust my crew a little bit. I just changed a mod on him and took him up to 75,700 health, which will be, according to the Swagaga leaderboard, that'll put me number 2. So I think I'm going to do that, give up a little bit of defense and a little bit of speed, and bump him up a little bit, because why not?
That's pretty awesome. I need to just start stacking some type of stat on my Gamorrean Guard and just see how far up the Gamorrean Guard leaderboard I can go. Just to be that guy.
Nice. Not a bad idea.
No, not at all. So
Cool. All right. Are you ready to get into some really lovely trivia?
I am totally ready for that. Whether or not I'm ready to get answers correct is another question.
Oh, that's always the question.
It's time for the sexy bearded duo to battle in their SWOGA knowledge in the most exciting trivia event in the Outer Rim. It's time for the Shattered Order Trivia. May the Force be with you.
All right. If you guys are going to do trivia, you need to go to quizzes, QUIZIZZ.com, and Goodnight Punk is going to tell us that game code.
All right, so you see it on your screen if you're on Twitch. If you're playing at home, listening to the audio podcast, your code is 072565. Again, the code is 072565. So, that is the code, and this week we're talking about turn meter removal. So basically anything that involves turn meter removal is up for grabs. So we will see how this goes. This has been in the game forever, so hopefully we know about it as a thing. Whether it's certain characters or not, that's going to be the big question. So we shall see.
Very exciting. All right. Let's do this.
All right, sorry, 1 second. All right, we're good. All right, I'm hitting join now. Enter your name. My name is Goodnight Punk, legally given to me by my parents. They were weird.
All right.
All right, let's see who we got in here. We got Grande in here, Grande Patron, good friend Wink, Drayton, Forsu, Arrow, Can Touch, Elton Blues. All our good friends are here. So this will be interesting to see where we all land. I'm excited. All right, who's ready? I'm ready. Are you ready?
All right, hold on 1 second. I got an issue. Okay.
You just got one? There's only one issue?
All right, here we go. Yeah, just one issue. All right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. Question number 1, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. First of all, apologies for the error last week. IG-100 can dispel protection up on his second special. This is the right answer. Free points. This is wrong. Pick one.
I like free points. Starting us off easy.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said that because I wasn't sure if he was messing with me. So, all right. Free points. Question number 2. Here we go. We've all had enough of Padme. Ain't that the truth? Let's talk turn meter. Who is capable, in theory, of removing over 100% turn meter?
Here.
Biston, Grievous, Tebow, or Jedi Knight Revan?
Ooh. I think I know the answer. Do you have your answer?
I have it narrowed down to 2, but I don't know how one of them would do it. So I think I'm going to go with the other one. And we'll see if I'm right.
All right.
All right.
Your answer is?
My answer was Grievous, but once I clicked it and saw the answers, I was really realized that Biston can do turn meter reduction himself, and then maybe there was a leader that added something to him, or maybe his turn meter is based on some kind of debuff buff situation.
I didn't know he could remove turn meter. I was thinking General Grievous, with enough enemies, he would be able to remove a total of that amount.
Yeah. Got me on that one. Question 3. Which character can remove the smallest amount of turn meter at a time? Colonel Stark, C-3PO, Bastila Fallen, or Rose Tico? Rose Tico, that should be your specialty.
Yeah. Forsuero mentions in chat that Bisten's TMR is based on his potency.
Yeah, that sounds right, and it's his special second special? The one that doesn't do frenzy?
Sure.
The one that doesn't do frenzy, I think. I don't know. All right. Ready to this question one more time. Which character can remove the smallest amount of turn meter at a time? Oh, wow. That was weird. Smallest amount of turn meter at a time. Colonel Stark, C-3PO, Bastila Fallen, or Rose Tico? I'm going to follow a time-honored tradition in trivia and pick my answer this way, and I'll tell you after I do it.
All right.
And I'm wrong for it.
I selected Bastila Fallen, and that is not the correct answer.
The time-honored tradition I picked was picking the newest character in the game because it's probably right, and that was not the answer. The answer wasn't Bastila Fallen. The answer was Colonel Stark. So now
and that makes sense. I think he removes like 2% turn meter or something. It's really weird. I think Bastila 6. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I'm curious now.
Question 4. Which of these characters is capable of the most mass turn meter removal from a team as a whole? Old Ben, Poe Dameron, Clone Sergeant, or Enfys Nest?
I have my answer.
I have mine as well, only because I feel like this one always does more. It's basically based on a feeling, so...
So which of these characters is capable of the most mass turn meter removal from a team as a whole? Old Ben, Enfys Nest, Poe Dameron, or Clone Sergeant? And you select?
I selected Old Ben, because I think it's, what, 30%?
I believe it's 50%.
I knew it was massive.
Sorry, no. It's either 50 or 80%.
Holy smokes.
Crap, I can't remember. I think it's an 80% chance to remove 50%. It's crazy good. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, that's why we always talk about how it's one of the better AoEs in the game.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Love that character.
All right, why don't you hit us with the next question?
Question number 5. Whose leader ability allows all allies to remove turn meter? Grand Admiral Thrawn, Admiral Akbar, Tebow, or Dacha? Ooh.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm not sure. Whose leader ability allows all
either.
allies to remove turn meter? Thrawn, Akbar, Tebow, or Dacha? I have my answer, but I don't feel good about it.
I am gravitating toward a certain answer, and I don't know if it's right. But I'm going to click it anyway, and we'll see where we go.
All right. I'm down to 2, and I think... What did you select?
Well, did you pick yours yet? Because I'm not going to tell you until I know you've picked.
Yes.
All right, well,
Yes,
I picked Tebow, and it was wrong.
I picked Dacha, and it was correct.
Which is weird, because...
Woo!
I guess I'm... No, that's weird, because... Is it only against droids? I mean, it doesn't matter for the question, but I think it's only against droids, then.
I believe that's correct. I'm not 100% for sure, though.
Because I only ever use Chief Nebbit as a leader for the Jawas if I set him on defense as in a back zone or something. Because his leader ability goes to everyone, and Dacha's is only to droids. There we go. I got it right here, so let me look. Whenever an ally damages a droid, they have an 80% chance to inflict defense down for 3 turns and a 25% chance to remove 25% turn meter. So it is only against droids.
Nice.
Going back to old Ben, it's 60% turn meter.
60%. Okay.
All right. Question 6. Stormtrooper Han and Stormtrooper have a weird way of removing turn meter. How does Stormtrooper Han do it?
Lots of answers here. When hit while taunting, removes from each enemy. At the start of his turn, removes from each enemy. Whenever he is hit, removes from a random enemy. Whenever an ally is hit, he removes from a random enemy.
Yeah,
Oof.
this is weird. You know, it's funny because, and I'm glad that
I should know
this was called out here by Tesh because this is going to help me answer the question, but I always thought it was funny how Stormtrooper Han and Stormtrooper almost had like opposite abilities as far as turn meter reduction goes. Like they're totally opposite of each other. But I can't remember which one has which. So I think I have my answer.
I have no idea. I'm so gonna get this wrong. Again, how does Stormtrooper Han remove turn meter? What is your answer?
I picked at the start of his turn.
Removes from each enemy. That is the same thing I selected. And it is the correct answer. So congratulations to both of us.
Hell yeah. Then you go to the next question, which is how does Stormtrooper Han or Stormtrooper do it?
How does Stormtrooper Han do it?
Well, all the answers are the same as the last question. So basically, if you heard the last question, you know what the answers for this question are. But if you want to read them again for everyone.
Yep. When hit while taunting, removes from each enemy. When he is hit, removes from a random enemy. At the start of his turn, removes from each enemy. Or whenever an ally is hit, he removes from a random enemy. What is your answer?
My answer, which is why I said it was the opposite, was Han on his turn does it. Stormtrooper Han does it, or Stormtrooper does it when he's taunting and he's hit. He'll remove turn meter from everyone. And that is the answer I chose.
Really? I selected whenever an ally is hit, he removes from a random enemy. And you, sir, are correct.
No, like, it's funny. You know, I used to wonder about Stormtrooper and how good he really was. But he is actually a pretty decent tank if you have him geared and this is one of the reasons, because he taunts a lot and all that turn meter removal every time he's hit is very good. So anytime any territory battle that requires Empire and I don't want to use Shore Trooper on the team, I always throw in Stormtrooper because I know he's going to do good things as the taunter. So obviously it's not a pre-taunt, which pre-taunts are god, but
yeah,
once he gets his taunt off, it does good things. So
I may have to dig into that a bit more and check his kit out.
Mine's only gear 10, but at gear 10, at least in Hoth territory battle, totally good enough. So
yep. All right, question number 8. Who is the god of turn meter reduction, able to remove 100% turn meter on their basic ability? Commander Luke Skywalker, Ewok Scout, Tebow, or Han Solo?
I know this one.
I know this one too.
And anyone that played the Rancor in the early days knows this one.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, did I just change your answer?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No Bleedo part 2. All right, so who is the god of turn meter reduction, able to remove 100% of turn meter on basic? You selected
Tebow.
I
But he
selected
has-
T-Bow as well. That's
But
the
he
correct
has to be stealthed.
He has to be stealthed, and he is a turn meter reduction fool.
Oh man, so good back in the day, man.
He was, man. He was
Mine
a
is
game changer.
he's still at max level or max gear level for the gear level at the time of the pit.
Yep.
I think mine's gear
Mind
9.
you, I don't think I've done anything to him since. Yeah. All
Last
right.
question. Which characters cannot give any buffs or debuffs, but only manipulate turn meter?
Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
There are 5 answers. One of them spelled wrong. You got Clone Sergeant, Tusken Raider, Kawaii Gon Jinn, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, and Magma Trooper, aka Jerry. All right.
Oh my god.
I think I have
think-
my answer.
I
And I
think
don't-
I have my answer too.
Can I ask you how many you clicked?
2.
Okay, I clicked 4.
All right. Which characters cannot give any buffs or debuffs, but only manipulate turn meter? Clone Sergeant, Qui-Gon Jinn, Magma Trooper, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, or Tusken Raider.
Should I hit submit? Should I hit submit
Let's
on
hit
4
it.
out of 5? All right, I did
I'm
it.
hitting
Dang.
it.
Damn.
Ah! There were 3, and I got 2 of the 3.
Yeah, there were 3, and I got 3 out of the 3 plus an extra. Qui-Gon Jinn? Qui-Gon Jinn? Did not. He obviously
That's
inflicts a
pretty funny.
debuff somewhere. He had to have done that on purpose, but it was still pretty funny.
Well, he gives offense up when he dispels.
Oh, right, it was buffs and debuffs. Crap.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you go.
Indeed.
All right, so what did you score, friend?
Probably worse than you this week. Let's see. I got 5 correct, so 5 out of 9.
I also got 5 out of 9, so
Woo!
we have a tie.
Very nice.
But I didn't lose
deal.
on quizzes, and this might be the turning point for me.
I'm glad I didn't lose. So.
Yeah, I haven't not won on quizzes yet. So, man, the only thing I don't like about quizzes is that I can't look at the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, that's not good.
But I am current rank 4 out of 8, so I'm not at the bottom.
Well, not too shabby.
Not shabby at all.
All right, sir. Are we gonna talk some Game of Thrones?
I would love to talk some Game of Thrones.
All right. Well, this is pretty much going to do it for the Shattered Order podcast, episode 148. Of course, check our podcast feed, and you can find a review of episode 4 of Game of Thrones, and catch
So
you
let me
guys there,
just-
or catch you guys next week.
Yes, let me throw you out all of this good old junk just because if you made it this far, you might be wondering it. So, if you want to hang out with us on Discord, we are very active there. We love talking to everybody there all week long through all the ups and downs of this game. The community, literally, the community for this game is what keeps me going
100%.
every week that I play this game. I love I love my guild, I love my alliance, I love the community around this podcast. Those 2 Discords are literally where I spend most of my time all week. So if you're interested in being a part of our Discord and hanging out there and being a part of that conversation, go to discord.me/shatteredorder. There's a link there. You can join the Discord, come hang out with us. We got lots of different things we talk about in there, and it is going on all week, and it is a lot of fun. If you listen to the podcast and you're interested in catching the live stream or catching a replay of the live stream, you can go to twitch.tv/shatteredorder and check it out there. As well, every week we put up the live stream. We outsource it to YouTube so you can watch the live stream on YouTube as well. And our YouTube is youtube.com/Shattered Order Pod. You can go down there and subscribe to the Shattered Order Pod on YouTube's, and you'll see all those videos as well. Twitter.com/Shattered Order. We're on there a lot, checking out all the random posts from CG Carry, as well as interacting with the community there. If you want to support the show, Amazon Prime subs on Twitch are a very good way to do it, and that doesn't cost you anything if you own Amazon Prime. So if you link your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, you can sub to this channel, and that will help us out monthly, and we always appreciate that as well. Patreon.com. One other thing
about the Twitch. If you sub to us on Twitch, you get this really cool little emoji guy to use in Discord. Anywhere on Discord that you want to use it. It is very awesome. So
Discord, you can use it in Twitch as well. There are some other things that I need to go check out on our Twitch page for those year-long subs. Can get another emote or a little icon next to their name in chat. There's a lot of things that I have not checked out completely that I need to go and do. But for everyone that's got that 12 months already, I'm looking into getting you a little extra cheese in your chat. A lot of cool stuff.
Heck yeah.
And the other thing is patreon.com/Shattered Order. If you want to support us there, we have a lot of different tiers there. You can go check that out. And we appreciate everyone that does that there as well. So as far as this show goes about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, we are done now. We want to thank you for listening. And as far as I know, unless something happens, we will see you next week.
Later.
All right. Let's get into that other thing we do every week now. After I go and... how do I want to say this?
Banyo?
You know what? I'm not going to say it. I was going to say Drain the Lizard, but that's a terrible way to say things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, I don't have a problem with Drain the Lizard. That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're going into
the way
a
that you
Banyo
said
break,
things.
and we'll be right back.
All right, we'll be right back.